Welcome to Season 2, Episode 5 of the Home Healthcare Today show. I am your host, Dr. Cleamon Moore. This is a special episode as it marks episode 25 of the Home Healthcare Today show. And it's February, and we are still discussing America Heart Month. We have the opportunity today to be a guest at the office of the American Heart Association Detroit chapter's location. Joined to my right is Maria Carr. Maria is the Go Red for Women chair. Next week, February 25th, is the Go Red for Women event. So they're going to have a great time, and we want to ensure that we get the word out to our listeners and viewers and all Detroiters in the area to understand what is going on. All right. So, Maria, thank you for allowing us to come in today and discuss not only the Big Red or Go Red for Women event, but to also discuss American Heart Association's Detroit chapter and some of the amazing things that you all do here.
Yes, no, thank you. Thank you for having me today.
Yes.
And for allowing us to have this platform to share things about the American Heart Association and our Go Red for Women campaign.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Maria. How about it? What brought you to American Heart Association's Detroit chapter? And then more about your passion for heart health and for Detroiters.
Yeah, of course. So I come from a background of doing various fundraising and events for different organizations, starting in politics, higher ed, and then in the nonprofit sector. I took a little time off, did a little bit in the corporate world for 3 years, and was like, I'm missing being a part of something, doing something more, being able to impact my community. And so when I saw the position, I was like, okay, this is a sign. Not only is it something that I'm deeply passionate about, I have heart disease in my family, and then also being a woman myself, just want to do anything I can to bring more awareness.
Wonderful.
So I was like, this is it, and I've been here since August, and I love it.
Wonderful. Well, congratulations on your appointment.
Thank you.
Maria, let's talk a little bit more about the Detroit chapter, right? Because when people hear American Heart Association, they know that it is a national organization. But let's hone in on Detroit. Talk to me a little bit about the mission, some key stats and facts about this chapter.
Yeah, of course. So our mission is to be a relentless force for a world of longer, healthier lives.
Yes.
And with that, it is not only encompassing different ways to bring awareness around heart health and stroke, and then also finding ways to get resources out to our community. We find that in certain communities, they don't have the same type of access as other communities might have. You know, they don't have a grocery store that they could either walk to or have like a quick little 5-minute drive. They are going to have to drive 30 minutes, an hour, and some people don't have transportation.
True.
And so that all plays into heart health, because if you can't get access to healthy foods, then you're going to be lacking in certain areas. It affects your heart. If you can't have access to doctors, that affects your health.
Yes.
If you don't even have access where you're not comfortable going outside all the time or have this proper space or where you're living, that affects it as well. So it's all encompassed.
Absolutely. Yes, it is. And thank you for those key points. And when we talk about heart health, obviously we discuss awareness, right? So we're red. We're going red. We have our red on. Please talk a little bit about that, the Go Red for Women campaign, and even the Reclaiming Your Rhythm campaign, and the efficacy of those campaigns to actually bring about change.
Yeah, so this year the theme is all around reclaiming your rhythm.
Yes.
Sadly, with the past, 2 years now of the pandemic, people have lost stuff. They've lost, a personal member. They've lost their ways of their physical activity. They're not eating right, not going to the doctors. Those are big, components. So this year we really want to find different ways to get people to get back what they might have lost, whether that's finding that extra 5 to 10 minutes to do some sort of exercise activity, figuring out different types of foods that you can incorporate into your meal that maybe you haven't had in a while. Figuring out different ways to find a mental health, wellness opportunity to take care of yourself, because it's been very stressful for everyone.
Yes.
So that's the big piece of that. And just spreading awareness, because sadly all of those components, physical health, nutritional health, and mental health, all play a role with your heart.
Yes,
and we find that the more people are aware, the more resources they have, the education, the tools, the access. 80% of some sort of cardiovascular disease or stroke can be prevented.
Absolutely.
And so the whole mission is to make sure everyone can find awareness to that, so we can save one more life, because even losing one more is too many.
It is. It certainly is, Maria. And I'm thinking along the lines of, to your point, 2 years into a pandemic, and hopefully we are getting to the other side of the pandemic. With that being said, as you think about vision, right, of yourself as director of the campaign, the work of the executive director of this chapter, what's the vision? What's the vision for the chapter? And then what are maybe some of the challenges that you believe the chapter faces?
Yeah, so the overall vision is to reach as many people as we can. Yes. And to find ways to overcome some of the roadblocks that may be in place for some areas, some communities, some people, and just making sure every single person, everyone has access. And just figuring out different ways to work with our partners. Obviously, not all of them have the same resources that they once had to be partners with us. So figuring out new ways how to work together and how to spread awareness.
Absolutely.
Figuring out ways how we can get into the community. We have our, one of the initiatives from the Go Red for Women campaign is our Have Faith and Heart. That one this year is sponsored by Beaumont, and they are helping us to reach different women in particular for Go Red for Women, but everyone at different, congregations, giving them the toolkits so they can share that message with the community and different resources so we can expand our reach, and finding new partners, different organizations to partner with, just different ways. The whole vision is to, by 2024 for our centennial for the American Heart Association, is to be able to reach everyone. Right now,
years.
We're close.
Absolutely.
But there's so much work still to be done.
Yes. And, Maria, the agency as a whole, the national agency, did a fantastic job over the last 2 years, and of course, the history of the organization, but especially and specifically during the last 2 years, we saw a lot of public service announcements as related to not only heart health, but to mental health and wellness. A lot of interventions, via video, and I believe that type of energy and those types of communications to so many individuals is helpful. So I got to ask, that's what we saw on the outside. Let's go with the inside scoop. How did the chapter, this one in particular, Detroit, how was it able to survive as well as thrive during the pandemic?
Yeah, so I've only been here since August, but I do know the one amazing thing is that the American Heart Association overall, they have so many resources at our fingertips. They train each local market.
Good.
They give us different ways how to interact with partners, how to reach community, whether it's through providing different webinar tools for different topics around mental well-being is a big push right now, around finding ways for people to learn about vaccinations around COVID, finding ways to help people realize how can they see their doctor if they aren't comfortable. All of these different types of resources that we provide in a webinar format, that we call them simply like a lunch and learn that we do with different organizations, so then they can take those tools and share it with their network. We can share it with our network and kind of work together.
Wonderful.
And I mean, it's amazing how fast people can change when needed, and definitely having the national support, being the leader and the driver, really helped here locally.
Indeed. Well, thank you for those insights, Maria. We're going to head to a commercial. When we get back, we'll talk more about, partnerships and ways that not only our agency, American Advantage Home Care, could be of better assistance or align ourselves with some of the goals, but we'll talk about other constituencies and ways to really help and impact Detroiters out there. So we'll be right back. Spring is a beautiful time in Detroit and Southeast Michigan. American Advantage Home Care brings that energy, joy, and vitality of the season right into your home, coupled with skilled home health care services. Our world-class team of clinicians can help you to thrive, maintain, and rebound in the comfort of your own home. Finding a home health care agency more compassionate and caring than American Advantage Home Care is a long shot. Welcome back to Season 2, Episode 5 of the Home Healthcare Today show. We are going red for women, and we are helping adults. We're helping patients and families reclaim their rhythm. I am joined here with Maria Carr of the American Heart Association's Detroit chapter. Prior to our commercial, we were having a very engaging dialogue about this chapter, as well as some of those heart health related issues and topics. So we'll pick up where we left off. Maria, when it comes to physicians and cardiologists, right? How can we encourage patients, families, women patients in particular? How can we help people to seek out cardiologists and physicians whenever it comes to heart health?
Yeah, no, of course. Obviously, the first step, go to your regular doctor and get your blood pressure checked and make sure that your levels are right. And ask them too and be like, are there certain signs that I should be looking for?
Yes.
And say that, you want to hear from someone who has a little bit more. Be like, know your family history.
Yes.
Especially if you have heart disease in your family. Definitely reach out. The cardiologists that we partner with are amazing.
Yes.
They share a lot of insights. We actually will have one of them speaking at the event next week with Dr. Serene from Ascension, Michigan. And so she's going to share about different ways she's interacted with her patients.
Wonderful.
That hopefully women and even men in the audience can take her knowledge from her findings to share.
That's great.
But just ask. Call and ask who would be someone you can talk to share and find out new ways of what you should be looking for, because there's so many different signs.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. So this is good. So helping people to just ask, and no matter how many times we ask that question to constituencies and partners, we always get interesting advice to give to patients, because they cannot receive enough encouragement. So we thank you for that. In terms of prevention and interventions, how does American Heart Association Detroit best assess and evaluate its efficacy in helping women in our region, and particularly women of color?
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
So last year for the Go Red for Women campaign, they actually used different ways to figure out how they can get that message across.
Yes.
Because we do find that, unfortunately, women of color, they do tend to have higher risk than other women due to different backgrounds and things of that nature. But we try to find ways to spread that message. We have different initiatives in place. We have our Check, Change, Control, where we go to different organizations, share how they can get their blood pressure checked. Knowing your numbers, because if you don't know, how do you know if you need to change your diet or if you need to change some sort of physical activity and incorporate that into your routine?
Yes.
The biggest thing too is figuring out how to, we're finding now that sodium plays a big role.
Yes.
How can you cut that out and have healthy amounts?
Yes.
So that's one of the messagings that we've been sharing when we do different webinars with people in the community.
Yes.
And we do those through different, we have our blood pressure, hypertension summits, our Check, Change, Control, and we work with different organizations to help spread that message.
This is good, because it begins to hopefully demystify some of those notions and the mindsets that people have around, well, if it's hereditary, then I can't manage it or I can't control it. But we do know that there are some modifiables, right, when we start to think about heredity, and certainly diet and exercise and stress management. Those are a few, right? Just a few of those modifiables. So very good. In our world, Maria, we're in a homebound world, so there's about 40,000 homebound Detroiters, right? And homebound status is based upon a chronic illness that prevents them from actively seeking outside, right? Whether it's outside chores or exercise, etc. How would you, in your professional opinion, how do you believe home health care could be of a better assistance to patients and families who are homebound in Detroit?
Yeah, of course. Obviously, the biggest thing is finding ways that they can still give them their message.
Yes.
We have a ton of resources online that you can search different things that you might be wanting to learn more about. If you're looking to find ways to handle stress.
Yes.
If you're looking for in-home workouts that are simple. I mean, doing a 5 to 10 minute workout of some sort or physical activity a day can really affect one's health and their heart health. So just, getting different resources to them so they can then share them with their patients. But also letting people know, go onto our website, which is super easy. It's heart.org/Detroit.
Heart.org/Detroit.
Yeah.
And then as a skilled home health care provider, we have physical therapists that could definitely utilize some of those resources in conjunction with the exercise regimens that they have for patients. So this is really good news, good information. Okay, as chair of the program this year, all right, let's look at what would be your big ask leading to Friday and even beyond Friday, because heart health is just about every day. It's a focus and it's an initiative. So what would be your big ask? And are you guys accepting, new members, new partners to help raise awareness here in Detroit?
Yeah, of course. I mean, we are always accepting new members, loving to accept new partners, because we cannot get to reaching everyone if we don't find new avenues, new ways, new partners. And so, I mean, my big ask, well, number one is know your numbers.
Yes.
Make sure you're going to the doctors regularly or talking to your doctor to figure out those ways. The big ask for the campaign, obviously, we always love finding new partners and new sponsors.
Okay.
But also finding those leaders in our community. We have our executive leadership team. They have helped me along this way, spreading awareness, having new people join, coming to the event, and just being involved in general. So finding new leaders that want to join and be a part of it, raising awareness, and just sharing, so that way we can help, especially with the women. Sadly, 1 in 3 women will die of some sort of cardiovascular disease. So the more women that are aware of what to look for, the more we can save.
Absolutely. Well, that is certainly a heartfelt message. And as an agency, American Advantage, we're going to respond to that call and support with that, big ask by partnering in whichever way possible we can. And if that big ask is granted, right? So if there are other executives that come on board and partner organizations that come on board, do you see reaching that goal in 2024 of actually getting to everyone? What's your thought on that?
I think it definitely is achievable. It's, obviously, like, all is in reach.
Yes.
The more people who know, the more people we're connected to, the more they can then connect and share with their networks and the people that they deal with. Okay. And so it just leads to that larger awareness, and hopefully more people will pay attention and listen. So we'll just, definitely.
And that last question for you, Maria, let's identify all the ways possible that listeners and viewers can find out more information and get involved with American Heart Association's Detroit chapter.
Of course. Well, number one, you can go to our website, heart.org/Detroit. You can find us on socials. You can even contact me directly, and I'd be happy to assist in connecting you with, different ways to get involved. It's just maria.carr, 2 R's, at heart.org. And we're always looking for new opportunities to partner with people in the community, different organizations to work with, just, finding different ways to get involved.
Awesome. Well, wonderful. Maria, thank you so much for allowing us to join you today in your office of the Detroit chapter. We look forward to next Friday's Go Red for Women event. And we're going to stay in touch and continue to spread the good news and the work that takes place at this chapter.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.